Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Roshan Jain, a senior psychiatrist and de-addiction specialist practicing in Bangalore at Apollo Hospitals and also in United Kingdom. First of all, I would like to wish everybody happy 76th Independence Day to all the viewers. On the eve of Independence Day, I want to emphasize that each and every mind matters. With that, let's pledge to do all that is required to care for ourselves, our body, and our mind. Because if we are healthy, then we are helpful and useful. And if we are healthy, then we will be available for our loved ones. So let's make every effort to improve our mental health and achieve freedom from mindless worrying. Today, we're going to talk about how to improve mental health. There's a growing body of evidence that suggests that lifestyle and behavioral modification plays a key role in improving mental well-being and reducing stress. Maintaining good mental health is essential for overall well-being. The World Health Organization has clearly conceptualized mental health and defined it as a state of well-being in which the individual realizes his or her own abilities and can cope with normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make contribution to the community. Mental health encompasses emotional, psychological, and social well-being, which influences how we think, feel, behave, affecting our ability to cope with stress, build relationships, and achieve personal and professional goals. Here are a few tips on how to improve your mental health. I'd like to simplify it with just two aspects: self-care and self-development. Firstly, we'll talk about self-care. Now, self-care is a foundational to good mental health. It starts from the time you wake up to the time you sleep and everything in between. And I think lifestyle modification must include prioritization of sleep, getting regular physical exercise, and adopting a balanced diet. And these should be the top of the list of the self-care. But there are many more aspects to self-care. So let's look at them one by one. Firstly, sleep. Now, sleep deprivation and having inadequate quantity of sleep is one of the biggest health hazard. Restful and adequate sleep is one of the most important ways to rejuvenate, recover, and start another day afresh. There's ample evidence to suggest that good night's sleep can improve learning, memory, and cognition. Further, adequate sleep has positive impact on those who are already reeling under stress, anxiety, and depression. So please prioritize your sleep above all other activities. Next, be active. Once you had a good night rejuvenating sleep, wake up to physical activity, which can have positive effects on your body, on your heart, and on your mind. Any amount of physical activity is better than none, and more is better. WHO has very clearly recommended that one must engage in between 150 to 300 minutes of moderate aerobic activity per week for each adult. Now, the intensity of the exercise or activity can depend on your fitness level, your age, and health. Exercise regularly. After a good exercise regime, I suggest you practice mindful meditation. Mindfulness simply means being in present. Now, this can be achieved by sitting with your eyes closed, making every effort to observe your breathing. Given our eternally interrupted and distracted mind, this could seem like a big ask. But as you observe your breath, your mind will waver and divert to all the less and irrelevant thoughts. When this happens, observe the thought and let it go. But importantly, look for the gaps in the thought. This gap is what we call as pure silence. And as you persist with meditation and observe your breath, you will be present in the moment and you will be able to experience the peace and quiet. Next, that too much of sedentary activity can be very unhealthy. It increases the risk of hypertension, diabetes, and other health problems. Next, we need to adopt a very balanced diet. Diet plays a key role in lifestyle modification. Nutrient-rich food, regular exercise has been linked to reduction in risk of depression and anxiety. Researchers have found that Western pattern dietary intake is associated with depression and anxiety, while Mediterranean or even Sattvic consumption of food, as you see in India, has had protective effect on mental health. Next, if you are a working professional, then make every effort to maintain a good work-life balance. Take on as much as you can finish in a day, and leave rest for the next day. And if possible, avoid carrying home. And if you're working from home, then draw a clear distinction between work and family or personal life. Disengage from mindless scrolling, social media updates, and incessant downloading of information, which is responsible for cluttering of our mind and making us forever restless. And I think we must choose real over real life, real persons over virtual persons. Engage in meaningful activities, activities that are offline. Take up hobbies, outdoor sports, and outing that will divert you away from the daily grind. Make time to socialize and connect with people in the real world. So these are all the important aspects of self-care. Next is self-development. And I think we should all indulge in some amount of self-development on a regular basis. Just like our computers require updates on a regular basis, we also require development, growth, not just of our body, but also of our mind. I think self-development includes few key aspects. One is skills upgrade. Couple of times a year, you need to learn something new, which will help you professionally. Networking. I think networking is the single largest reason for success and progress. So network with people in the real world, of course, in the virtual world, but in the real world, connect with people and communicate with people. The third aspect of self-development should be communication. And communication is one of the most important pillars of relationship, apart from trust, respect, and love. And effective communication improves quality of your relationship, but also brings a sense of satisfaction and peace within yourself that you're able to communicate effectively and where necessary. Effective communication is the bedrock of relationship building. So with a consistent and persistent self-care and self-development, we are bound to enjoy an overall well-being and good mental health. So let us free ourselves from mindless worrying and pledge to mindful living. Remember, each and every mind matters. Thank you for listening, and happy Independence Day to all again. Jai Hind.